What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Colby's Garage, and we are back with my, you know what, I almost said it. I don't know what my favorite car is, but we're back with Orange Hull. There you go. So, little overview of today's video. We're going to do a pros and cons of owning a modified C7 Z06. Is there a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons? We're not sure, so we'll get into it. A little mod list for you guys. Full Corsa Extreme exhaust. Did that first. Then I did a pulley kit from Lingenfelter. Great pulley kit, 2.3 on the top. Made great power, dynoed it, experienced that. Never forget that. That was crazy cool. And then decided I wanted more power, so took the blower out and collected parts. And yeah, that was pretty much what I did most of the winter. Sent the blower out to Kong Performance, got a stage export. It came back. I needed a new pulley, so I wanted the maximum amount of boost I could run, so I got a 2.175 pulley. The previous pulley I was using was a 2.3. If anybody's wondering, OEM's 2.5. Got a ported throttle body from K-Tech, hooked up to a Corsa carbon fiber air intake. Now everybody hold on now, because everybody's going to be like, whoa, Colby, why didn't you get a steel custom ugly ass freaking pipe made? And you know what, I didn't want it. I didn't want that. Everybody's running these big freaking pipes, like, so I do HVAC for a living, and it's like, it looks like ductwork. It honestly does. It looks like, looks stupid. So I decided I wanted one that looked cool, and Corsa was claiming big numbers out of this one, so I wanted that one. And yeah, so, and then I hooked it up with a set of hooker headers that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. Say what you want, but when you're on a budget, you're on a budget. And yeah, and you know what, we took it to the dyno. Stuff happens. I need a fuel pump because I'm bringing in so much air. And then I put the headers on because I thought that would save it. I just let like more flow, and then guess what? Not enough fuel getting to it. So gotta put a secondary fuel pump in. Doesn't look to be that bad. It is a little bit pricey, but we're in the midst of finding which one we want and putting it in. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then the last thing I did to it was, actually my girlfriend got me a carbon steer LED carbon fiber steering wheel, which it's sick. I love it. It's one of the coolest parts. Got it completely custom, so shout down on the thank you. And yeah, but getting into pros and cons wise, one of the biggest cons is of building a like this sort of like I find just with this platform, the C7 Z06, there's a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of guys and girls that love to go super far on builds, you know, pull the motor apart, do all this. I wanted a very simple bolt-on, big power, but bolt-on factory blower setup. And you know, a lot of people just end up taking out, you know, the factory blower, throwing a Whipple in or throwing a Maggie in, and just really making huge power. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do a little bit different. To my knowledge, I haven't seen somebody else with this exact setup. I'm sure somebody else has done it, or you know, thought of it or something like that, but I actually did put a lot of thought into this. I researched it quite a bit, and you know, I just wanted something different. You see all these guys are just same thing, just something different. So that's one of the biggest cons, is just everybody kind of, there's a lot of information, but there's not a lot of guidance sometimes. I know it sounds bad, but there's just like, it's just, there's so much around you, and they're like, oh, do this, and you're like, no, that seems like a lot of money. That seems like a lot of boost. I feel like that's gonna blow my car up. This is kind of scary. Look, like, no, like this was a very simple and very cost-efficient way to make 1,000 horsepower. A pro of this is, yes, 1,000 horsepower, but you get to really know your car a little bit more. It was really cool doing it. You get to learn. You know, you're in the shop and you see it, and you know, you're like, oh, what's that? What's this? You get to learn more about it. So I really like that. A con of you know, building a car like this is just, you know, your brain is like constantly thinking about it, like, is it gonna be okay, is it not gonna be okay while it's on the dyno. That's definitely like an emotional thing. I know you're like, oh, it's just a car, Colby. You know, here I'm gonna say in a comment saying it's just a car. No, it's like, honestly, you've put so much thought, so much research, money, time, everything, and it's like, oh, is this gonna work? So that was a bit of a con. It would have just been nice if everything just went together, but that's not life. That happens. And the last pro I have is just like the overall, I know it seems silly, the looks of it. Like, you look at it, yes, the blower looks factory. You wouldn't know that it's ported. But like, you know, you got carbon fiber air intake, you look inside, you're like, oh wow, there's hooker headers on there. Like, oh, that's cool. Oh, look at that pulley. It looks like a freaking beadlock tire. It's a zip up. That looks cool. Like, it's little stuff like that that's like, that's really cool. So, and adding on to that, when I go to car shows, I'm just gonna take this out, pull that out, and then you guys can really see the air intake a little bit more. So I always thought I think that's kind of cool. So that's, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Like, I don't have too much more to say about pros and cons. There's not a whole lot of them. It's just those 4 subjects I said. Yeah, it was fun, and I'm not done, and it's cool. Once I get the fuel pump, I'm done for a while. Will I ever do heads and cam? I don't think so. I think it's a lot of work for not a lot of power. Maybe someday, maybe in a few years. Like, if you guys look behind me, I really want to build this car someday. Not to what this thing is, but, you know, you do like, you know, air intake, throttle body, headers, and just leave it as like a pure NA car. You see a lot of these that are big power, pro charge. It's not a supercharger, it's a pro charger. Anybody that says the little Paxton thing that's in there, that's a pro charger. My opinion. Hate me, whatever. But if you guys like Corvette content, Viper content, Shelby content, Hellcat content, old 60s and 70s muscle car content, you like a guy trying to learn with you guys about cars and history of cars, smash that subscribe button. You guys won't regret it. Be honest with you, we do stuff a little bit different here. Positive, no negative, and it's all good stuff. So stick around. I promise you guys will like it. This has been episode of Colby's Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you guys in the next one.